It's a beautiful day here at Cedar Lakes.
I'm in Death Valley.
Just win.
And sometimes when you live in a small town,
there are no strangers.
Off as an award-winning sports writer and stadium voice at Ripley High for 30 years.
So I'm the one-man director of the Ripley Convention and Visitors Bureau.
We're now joined by the legendary PA voice of the Vikings, Mike Rubin. Rube, welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you, Brian. It's good to be here.
Good evening, fans, and welcome to the campus of Ripley High School for tonight's game as the Warren Local Warriors take on your Ripley Vikings.
It's truly been a great ride with the Vikings this fall, and we'll hope that journey continues for a few more weeks.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, from Evans to Cottageville, from Kennet to New Era, Ripley High School is proud to present the pride of Jackson County, the Ripley Viking Band.
You always want to be the king where you live. No matter if you're at a basketball game, a baseball game, or what it is, you want to be the king where you live.
Thank you so much for joining us behind all the home games at Ripley High School. You're so much a part of the atmosphere there, and we appreciate you being with us tonight.
All right, fans, it's football time in Death Valley. Let's bring it.
As the WVU Medicine Jackson General Hospital countdown to tip-off continues. Both teams back out on the floor. Health Center filling up here tonight, Jeff. It's going to be a great crowd. Point Pleasant has a great contingent with them, as they always do. And the Viking Nation obviously showing out here tonight. Everyone really excited for this postseason to get started. And the boys in blue and white just seem like it's just another game.
Yeah, not a whole lot of jubilance out there. I mean, you know, it's kind of quiet. They're just going about their business, getting their shots in, working on their stroke, getting loose. Isaiah, you know, he's working on some penetration drills, ball handling drills. Dylan's out there stroking. Kate the same. Virgil. And the big man, you got one at the foul line, you got one at the three-point line. So nothing's changed for these guys.
Feels like free throws are going to be big. We shot them better last week. Kind of put Ravenswood away from the free throw line and shot it pretty well at Parkersburg, Jeff. It seems like that's going to be important for this team moving forward, starting here tonight.
I think you're right, Brian. We have shown a lot better concentration when we went to the line and been able to knock some free throws down, and I hope that continues here tonight, because here we are in tournament time, and they're very, very crucial. You start watching, and things starting to tighten up a little bit out there from the perimeter and at the free throw line. You know, you get to thinking about it, a lot more on the line than, well, we're going to play in 2 days regardless of what happens here. Well, no, not tonight. So the Vikings have got to be ready.
If you're Josh Williams, Jeff, you certainly, if you're Josh Williams, you would love to get off to a quick start here tonight and put some pressure on this team, the Vikings, and find out what they're made of when you're in a win or die situation. If the Vikings can come out early and get on top and kind of cruise through this ball game, that's the last thing Coach Josh Williams wants to see. He wants to get off to a quick start.
Oh, I guarantee you he does. And, I'm sure his message to his guys have been, we got nothing to lose. We're coming here as the 4th seed out of 4. Nobody expects us to go in there and win. Let's go show the world, the state of West Virginia, that Point Pleasant is in the house and we're here to play. So, we can't take anything for granted. We've got to come out with that intensity, with that desire, play with some emotion once the game starts, and just take care of business here tonight.
Is it fair to say Isaiah Casto will be the guy to help lead us out of that if that would happen? He's the guy that kind of, the straw that stirs the drink, I guess maybe you would say. He makes this team go. He
is, without a doubt. The sleeper in that is Cade. I mean, he does so many things that you don't really see him on the stat line. He'll knock down a big shot when we need it. He doesn't get too excited. He's good on the dribble drive. He'll finish. He'll make a steal. He'll do some things that, you don't really notice during the game, but he's just solid. So there's another thing. But I really think, when Dylan's on the floor, Dylan's got to be ready to catch and shoot. And then the big guys have got to go crash the boards. We have got to win the rebounding contest tonight against some guys that are pretty good sizing themselves out there in Point Pleasant.
All right, Jeff, we'll step out as we pause for the national anthem. We return. We'll have the starting lineups and opening tip here from the Health Center. More Viking basketball after this on C98, The Bull.
Tonight's winner will play the winner of Nitro and Winfield. They'll play Friday night at 7 p.m. If you would, please stand for the playing of our national anthem. Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the longest red glare of bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to place a ball.
People just get their internet.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, starting lineup for the Black Knights. Number 1, Peyton Murray. Murphy, thank you. Number 33, Eric Chapman. Number 11, Grant Barton. Number 34, Josh Chapman. And number 12, Asher Robinson. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for your Vikings. Number 1, Luke Johnson. Number 3, Dylan Casto. Number 11, Isaiah Casto. Number 21, Brady Anderson. And number 23, Cade Good.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to play some ball.
All right, welcome back to the Health Center starting lineups. Jeremy Eastman, PA announcer tonight. Sectional action, Jeff, round 1. It's win or go home tonight. You win tonight, you play Friday for regional seeding. So this is the one you have to win. Obviously, you want to win both and cut the nets down here Friday night, hopefully, but you got to take care of business tonight. And as I said earlier, this is not going to be an easy game for the blue and white.
No, it's all one game at a time now. You got to take them as they come, Brian. And the Vikings looking to make history here and continue their winning ways.
Eric Chapman will jump it against Luke Johnson. Vikings will be moving right to left in their home white, blue lettering, blue numerals, and the Black Knights steal the tip, and they'll have it. Back the other way, Chapman, left wing. He'll set up the offense, guarded by Brady Anderson out on the perimeter. Passes off to Barton. Barton picks up his dribble. Now goes in the corner to Murphy. Murphy back to Barton. Barton back to Chapman. And they'll reset out near the mid-stripe line.
Point Pleasant in no hurry here, Brian. Very, very slow pace.
Murphy rolls in an elbow jumper, 2-0, Point Pleasant.
Looked like it was going to be short. He was able to roll it over the front of the rim.
Dylan Casto has it. Murphy guarding him closely. They will have him game plan tonight after the 6 of 10 shooting effort against them previously. Shot missed by Good and rebounded by Josh Chapman.
A little bit of contact there after that shot. Cade almost bit the dust. Big high screen.
Robinson to Eric Chapman, 3 on the way, off the mark, rebounded by Brady.
Good job of Brady out on defense. A good job of boxing out, keeping Chapman off the boards.
I like this matchup with Isaiah Casto. Drives into the paint, kicks it in the corner. Good. He'll shoot a contested 3. Got it!
And the foul.
Grant Barton did not give him space to come to the ground. And to the floor goes the junior, and he'll go to the line for the old-fashioned 4-point play, Jeff.
I mentioned that on his first shot. It looked like there was a little bit of contact as he was really up against him. And this time they make the call, but the ball goes in.
75% free throw shooter makes the first. 4-2 Vikings.
Here comes pressure by the Vikings.
On top for the first time here this evening. Here's Barton coming near side. Vikings trap it. Back over to Murphy. Murphy to Robinson. Left wing 3 on the way. Too strong. Cleared by Anderson.
Looks like the shot that Coach Mullins wanted Point Pleasant to have.
Anderson drives it left hand. Cuts off back out front to Isaiah. May have gotten away with the travel.
Yeah, big bodies in there.
Isaiah drives it. Gets the defender on his hip. Back to Good. Now Johnson straight away for 3.
Got it. The big man has shown the ability to knock those down, especially here of late.
7-0 run for the Vikings. They lead at 7-2. Here's Barton. Back to Murphy. Back to Barton. Ball deflected. Still not across the timeline. 10-second call. Great defense by the Vikings.
And there's Cade Good once again, along with Isaiah Casto. Casto's leaping ability allowed him to get up and get a hand on that ball. Okay, they had it trapped, did a good job of not fouling and getting the 10-second call.
We'll throw it deep into the backcourt to Isaiah back near the free throw line, and he'll walk slowly across the timeline. Robinson picks him up off to Johnson. Now back to Good near corner. Top circle to Anderson. Looking to get it on the block. He'll drive it to the elbow, reversing it back out to Dylan Casto.
Murphy is really face guarding Dylan.
Luke hands it off. Driving in, Good. Floater, too strong. Rebounded by Chapman.
Luke just didn't time his jump that time. Thought he was going to get that rebound, maybe even snatch it and throw it down through.
Cade Good very aggressive on the offensive end here tonight. That's his 3rd shot already. Robinson hands it off to Murphy. Murphy looking for room. He'll shoot a 3 straight away. High arcer off the mark. Rebounded by Dylan Casto.
Here come the Vikings on the fly as Isaiah looking to run.
Straight away 3 from Luke. That's off the mark. Tracked down by Dylan. Vikings get another chance. Back to Luke. All the way to the basket. Contact. No call. Late call. Didn't think they were going to whistle it for a second. It was a very late whistle.
It's going to be on 12.
Luke will get to the line. That'll be Robinson's first. Team's second, and Virgil Myers will check in.
And Dylan Casto chasing that ball down and keeping that thing alive. made that play happen.
That's key in moments like this to get second opportunities. Luke makes the free throw.
Dillon will check out as Virgil Myers will check into the Viking lineup.
Barton out. Second free throw up and in. And Grayson Tucker in for Point Pleasant. 9-0 run here by the Vikings, Jeff. 4:52. And ball stolen from behind. Chapman to Isaiah. Isaiah tries to lay it in, can't connect. A quick throw ahead. And down on the block they go to Murphy. Lays it up and in.
There were 4 Vikings around that ball, and nobody went to get it. I think they all thought each other was going to grab that, but great steal by Isaiah. As Chapman went back to defend against him, we just couldn't finish it.
They stop a 9-0 run, so 9-4, the Vikings lead it. Screen and roll, ball stolen away. Vikings getting loose with it. Josh Chapman with the steal. Chance to make it a one-possession game here. Sometimes with a bucket.
We have a tendency to get a little lazy with those passes, and Point Pleasant makes us pay.
Robinson, head and shoulders fake. Nowhere to go. Picked up his dribble. Now off to Murphy, down on the block. He'll shoot a fadeaway, a high arcer up and in.
And the Viking defense has had way too many breakdowns on the last couple of possessions, not getting and guarding the ball very well.
4-0 run here by the Black Knights. Here's a shot blocked for Cade. Gets his own rebound. Good effort. Back to Luke. Near corner, fakes a 3, drives baseline. A foul is going to be called on Josh Chapman.
And you got to up-fake the Chapman brothers because they will jump and leave the floor. But you've got to at least get that pump fake to get around them.
Dylan Casto back in. Cade Good will grab a seat. Third team foul on Point Pleasant. Dylan Casto, far wing, drives it, floater, too strong. Off of, looked like it was off Robinson. They're going to say.
I believe it was.
It goes to Point Pleasant, so a break for the Black Knights.
You got to really watch getting too deep against this team. They've got 2 trees inside that are athletic.
Here's Murphy. Cross court to Chapman. He swings it quickly to Robinson in the front court. Now to Tucker in the far corner. He'll shoot a 3. Good. Tie ball game.
Just that quickly, Point Pleasant has battled their way right back into this ball game, and they're doing it through effort.
Luke, 3 in transition. In and out. Brady tracks down the rebound. Back to Luke. Takes it strong.
Wow.
Isaiah pulls it down and lays it in.
Luke got hammered on that drive, and the whistles have not been real consistent here tonight. There's a steal by Dylan.
Dylan will shoot a little mid-range after the steal. Great play by Dylan Casto.
Maybe that'll get him going.
He's on the board. 4-0 run by the Vikings. They're up 13-9. Here's Chapman. Transition. Down the block to his brother Josh. Shot no good. Rebounded by Luke.
Not a whole lot of contestation by Luke not wanting to pick up the foul, just enough to make him miss it, and then he went strong for that rebound, Brian.
Luke hasn't amassed a lot of blocks in his career, but he's altered a high number of shots. As Isaiah thought Brady was going to go one way, he went the other, and we turn it over. So Robinson out and Murphy back in. Or no, excuse me, Barton back in. Murphy with it, off to Barton. In the backcourt. Good defense by Dylan. He pushes him up the far sideline, and he turns it over.
Good pressure by Dylan Casto. Creates a turnover. 13-9, Brian. 2:18 to go here in the first period. Vikings have the lead.
Now can we convert to the points off turnover? We'll see. Isaiah into the front court. High double screen. Drives it into the corner to Dylan. Good closeout defense by Peyton Murphy. Now Brady will drive it strong. Straight to the basket, lays it up and in.
Good job. Showed a little bit of quickness, was able to get by Chapman and finish that time.
6-0 run for the Vikings, back out on top, 15-9. As Barton has it near wing, getting a screen from Josh Chapman. Chapman rolls to the basket. He passes back to Eric. Eric drives it, gets away with the travel, and they're going to call a block on Brady Anderson, and he took the LeBron James extra step in there, no call.
Yeah, that was an additional Euro plus one there.
A lot of steps in there without a dribble, and he's hard enough to defend, Jeff, when he's dribbling the basketball. When he doesn't have to dribble it, he becomes impossible to defend.
And Coach Smalling's wanting an explanation on that call, and
first free throw, no good.
And that's something with Chapman playing the minutes he has to play. He has to bring the ball up against pressure. He's running the floor all the time, and sometimes he gets a little winded, as his brother Josh will be removed from the game, as Trevin McMillan will replace him into the lineup for the Black Knights.
So Eric Chapman yet to score, Jeff. Could this be the moment? No. So kind of shocking. He's yet to put any points on the board. 15-9. I can't imagine that's going to hold. Great drive by Isaiah. Takes all the way to the basket. No good. Luke's putback dunk won't go. Tracked down by McMillan.
Man, that would have brought the house down. Luke, unflappable, didn't get too excited.
No, doesn't get too excited, as you said. And then there's Peyton Murphy with the...
That's their guy tonight. Somebody's got to decide to guard him and not allow him to penetrate.
Very impressive move by the young man. Got into the paint, got stopped, and got a bucket. Another turnover. They're letting him play. McMillan comes out of there with the steal turnover. Isaiah. We go ahead to Barton. He'll drive it up and under, lays it up and in.
They're right back in the ball game again, as the Vikings have broken down on offense and defense after the missed slam dunk followed by Luke.
4-0 run. Under a minute to go. 42 seconds here in the first quarter. Vikings lead at 15-13. Hedrick back to Luke, left of the circle. He'll dribble it out. 35 seconds. They're going to hold for the final shot. Isaiah has it in the far corner on the near midcourt stripe. 25 seconds. Coach Josh Williams is calling for ISO. They know what's coming. Can you stop it? That's the main thing. Isaiah drives to the basket. Dillon, corner three, in and out. Rebounded by Barton. The quick throw ahead. It's Murphy. He'll shoot a three. Too strong. Rebounded by Luke. Here comes Luke. 3 seconds at midcourt. Off to Dillon. 2 seconds. He's going to have to hurry. And can't get a shot off. Had to be some sort of a foul or contact in there. Nothing called. 15-13. The Vikings lead it by 2 as we go to the second period. We'll return after this on C98, The Bull. To Ripley High School. Second quarter of action about to begin here. And it's been back and forth, Jeff. Both teams have had their moments that they would be proud of, and then others that they would rather forget. And we're at a 2-point game here as we begin the second period. It'll be Isaiah Casto into the front court to our left. Cade Good. It's another shot blocked. Great defense from Murphy.
Murphy's playing a heck of a game here tonight. I don't know if we'd planned for that.
Tuned up and ready to go. Here's the L Center. Murphy with it. Left of the circle, guarded by Dylan Casto. Looking for a screen from Eric Chapman. Now he goes in the far corner to McMillan. McMillan will hand it off to Barton. Barton will bring it out and reset the offense. Driving into the free throw area. Out to Murphy. Murphy drives it. And Dylan Casto is going to be called for a foul. There was a walk in there. I don't know if the foul was first, but apparently, according to the official, it was.
Yeah, he got a little advantage there, but, you know, first ball fake, you got to retreat a little bit and get you an angle, and Coach Smalls is wondering. Why?
Are we going to ask him to dribble tonight?
That's not been called.
The first free throw off the mark.
It's the only thing Murphy's missed here tonight, I think.
He's been fantastic. Second one on the way in.
Shoots a little bit of a knuckleball up there, but you shoot it enough, it'll go in.
15-14. Vikings cling to a 1-point lead. Cross court to Luke, left of the circle, right of the circle rather. Off to Good. Good drives it. Back to Anderson. Down on the block they go to Luke. Ball deflected out of there. Not sure how that's not a foul, but it's a turnover Vikings.
I don't think they're going to call that tonight. I think they're just going to let them beat on each other because they haven't called anything for a quarter and 2 minutes.
Point Pleasant a chance to take the lead. Chapman clearing that side of the floor. He'll drive to the basket, double teamed. Now back to Murphy. Murphy guarded by Dylan Casto. Cross court to Tucker, right of the circle. Hands it off to McMillan off the dribble drive. Here's Murphy with it. Back to Tucker. He'll shoot a three. In and out. And Murphy nearly beats the Vikings to the basketball. Great effort by that young man.
You're exactly right, Brian. The one thing that Tucker can do is fire up threes. He will not be bashful. You've got to get out on him.
So Isaiah will come into the front court. Vikings need to get something going offensively. Isaiah may do it there with a drive to the basket. Off the mark, Luke put back up and in.
And Luke is getting beat on down there and not getting any calls. He's getting a little frustrated, I think, too.
17-14. Vikings lead it. Here's Chapman. Into the front court slowly. Near the Viking bench. Now dribbles to the top of the circle. Picks up his dribble. Spins back. Reverses to Barton. Barton shoots an uncontested three. The lefty off the mark. Isaiah rebounds it.
Here come the Vikings on the run.
Ball deflected out of bounds by Barton.
Point Pleasant wanting a call over there on the sideline, trying to say that Cade tipped that ball, but nothing going on over there.
Eric Chapman out, Josh Chapman in, Dylan Casto out, Virgil Myers in.
McMillan guarding Luke in the post, advantage Vikings.
They've got to clear it out and get him the basketball, and they're going to do just that. And Josh will sloop down and try to take double team Luke, and Brady says, thank you, sir. I'll take the free throw jumper, and makes it.
And Brady was practicing that in warm-ups, just that shot right there.
Virgil guarding tightly to Murphy. Coach Josh Williams takes a timeout, full timeout. 19-14, Vikings lead it. Jeff, let's take 1-2. More Viking basketball after this on C98, The Bolt.
Not a whole lot of fouls are being called, so nobody's really in foul trouble, and neither team is even close to getting to the foul line with 5:28 to go here in the second quarter. The Vikings lead 19-14.
So they'll have it moving left to right. Robinson back in the ball game. Driving it into the front court. Forces up a tough shot. Can't get it to go. And it's up a tough shot. Can't get it to go. And it's rebounded by Isaiah.
Good job by Isaiah. It looked like that ball might fall into the hands of the Black Knights, but Isaiah goes and gets it.
Pass to the elbow to Anderson. Now Isaiah across the top circle. He's surveying the scene. They screen for Anderson. He goes in the corner, the far corner to Good. Back to Isaiah Casto. Eric Chapman will check in next dead ball. Far corner to Good. Back out to Isaiah. 19-14, the Vikings lead it. Robinson guarding Isaiah. Off to Good in the far corner. Nearly threw it away. Spins baseline. Double teamed. Shot up. Won't go. Rebounded by Virgil Myers. Off to Anderson. What a pass.
Oh,
Virgil
my.
Myers. Wow.
Wrap around, and look what I found. And Brady's going to pick up foul number 2, I believe, on him. And Dylan Casto quickly will come to the scorer's table to check in. He'll enter the game along with Eric Chapman.
So 21-14, the Vikings lead it by a touchdown.
Grayson Tucker will go to the bench for the Black Knights.
Here's Murphy. Back to Robinson. Has to work on Virgil. Virgil, a real pest defensively here so far in this ball game, as usual. His quick hands and quick feet. He is really hard to deal with on the defensive end, and then getting an offensive rebound, Jeff, you can earmark that. That rebound and putback could come in large before this game's over with. Here's McMillan. He'll drive it. Back to Robinson. In the corner to McMillan. Down the block to Josh Chapman, and he lays it up and in.
Just a huge mismatch in there with the two bigs. And Point Pleasant was very patient until they could find one of the Chapman brothers on the low block.
21-16. Dylan Casto with it, left wing, bound to Luke, near corner. He'll shoot a three. That's off the mark. And it's going to be rebounded by McMillan.
And the Vikings with nobody in there to rebound the miss after Luke misses from three-point range.
The energy level needs to ratchet up a little bit, Jeff, for this Viking team. Here's Robinson. Swings it cross court to Murphy. Murphy looking for a screen. Now comes back right side to Robinson. He'll get a screen from Josh Chapman. Now down they'll go. Long baseline jumper from Eric Chapman, and he's on the board.
And just that quickly, the 7-point lead evaporates in a timeout for the Vikings.
Coach Mullins wants a 30-second timeout with 3 minutes remaining here in the first half, and it's been an ebb and flow the entire first half, Jeff. The Vikings seem, I don't want to say flat, but they're not playing with that same energy level we saw them play with last week.
No, and you know, these are kids, and they read the news clippings. And Point Pleasant has struggled this year, and they know that. The Vikings are coming off of 2 big wins against worthy opponents. And sometimes it's just hard to get the fire going, but somebody has got to make something happen out there to get a spark going and light that fire for the blue and white.
Maybe it will be Carson Hedrick as he checks into the ball game, as Isaiah Casto will get a breather. So for the Vikings, Hedrick, Johnson, Dylan Casto, Virgil Myers, Cade Good. For the Black Knights, Murphy, McMillan, Robinson, Eric Chapman, and Josh Chapman. So Hedrick quickly across the timeline. Down on the block they go to Luke, spins on Josh, dunks it home!
Maybe that'll do it.
There we go, a two-handed flush between the Chapman brothers. Luke with 9 and an exclamation point. They get it across the timeline to Eric Chapman. He's double-teamed on the boundary, dribbles out of it, off to Murphy, in the corner to Robinson, contested 3, too strong. Good block out by Luke as it's kept alive. Here come the Vikings. Drive by Virgil, baseline, cut off to Cade, out top to Dylan. Now Hedrick, and he'll bring it out and reset the offense. Dylan under the basket, or on top of the basket, rather, off to Good. Now Myers thought about a 3. Hedrick. Vikings trying to work the ball inside. Good defense perimeter-wise by the Black Knights.
Don't need to force anything.
Good drives on McMillan. Takes to the basket. A lot of contact. No call.
My goodness, and Cade Good is down.
Official had to take a timeout to check on him.
Viking faithful asking him not help him up. Call the foul.
Goodness.
As we said, there isn't a whole lot going on there. And, you know, their argument's going to be, well, we can't bail him out. He's out of control. Well, if he's fouled, he's fouled. So, you know, tough break for Cade on that one.
Here's Murphy. Drives it. Passes it off to Chapman.
Oh, my. And then they call that.
Shot blocked, and they're going to call a foul. Josh Chapman's going to the free throw line.
Unbelievable. And he knows he missed that one. Yeah.
He's hearing it from the
he
Viking
is
fans.
Really hearing it. But you know what Isaiah did?
Handed him the basketball.
Handed him the ball and went to the foul line. Let's see if Chapman can knock down free throws. First one's off.
Ooh. That one hit the back iron and nearly stopped and then rolled off the right side of the rim. No good. 23-18. Vikings still lead it. Misses both. So a break for the Vikings.
Chapman both hands on the back. My goodness, he put his whistle in his mouth and won't call it.
And Luke stays in there, fights it out, and they finally call the foul on him. It's 2 on Josh Chapman.
He actually pushed him in the back of the head, Brian, as Luke was trying to get position. He had both hands on his back. It slid up and actually pushed him forward with his head.
Isaiah will inbound it. Throws it into the backcourt to Virgil. 1:30 to go here in the first half. Virgil gets a screen from Luke. Off to Hedrick. Hedrick to Luke. Cross court to Isaiah. Beautiful move. Floater. Switches hands in midair. Luke grabs the miss. Puts it back up. It won't go
over
in.
the back.
Chapman not called for over the back, but knocked out of bounds. Viking basketball.
This crew is a different crew than we've had all year, and that's the way it is when you get into tournament time. And
no blood, no foul in the Health Center tonight, Jeff. Hedrick across the timeline. Off to Isaiah, far corner. Little wrinkle in the offense here.
All right, and finally.
I think Luke helped that one. He may have flopped a little bit on that one as he got the call on Chapman. That's his first.
As the Viking faithful hollering every single play.
It floated up to Luke. Over McMillian. Shot no good. Ball deflected. Isaiah can't come out of there with the rebound. Murphy has it.
Oh,
Barton
got away with the walk.
Barton trapped off to Chapman. He'll bring it up the near side. Puts his shoulder down, picks up his dribble. In the corner to Robinson. He'll drive it. Ball deflected. Virgil with the steal. We got a run out. Chapman will contest. Takes it all the way up. Lays it in.
It's goaltending anyway.
Great play by Virgil.
Good run out by the Vikings. Extend the lead to 7. 44 seconds to go.
Great play by Virgil to challenge. He had the rim between he and the defender, and Virgil put the onus on him to defend it, and then Virgil nearly comes up with another incredible steal.
And it was almost off the foot of Barton.
So McMillan will come out. Josh Chapman with his 2 fouls will check back in. And Robinson will inbound on the far end of the court to our left into Barton. Barton with Virgil defending him, struggling to get it across the timeline. They do. Robinson off to Murphy. Murphy drives it. Ball deflected from behind. Old man wreck defense from Isaiah Castro. Knocks it out of bounds. He's really good at that. It's so hard to not foul when you do that.
And he's very quick. His 3-point shooter comes into the game, Grayson Tucker. And you got to find him because he will fire it up.
Robinson will inbound to the left of his basket into Chapman. Off to Tucker. They designed the play for him. Good defense by the Vikings. Robinson off to Murphy. 20 seconds remaining in the half. Virgil defending. Murphy drives to the basket. Off to Robinson. Robinson down to Josh Chapman. Back to Murphy. They swing it to Tucker for 3 in the corner.
Got to find him. He's in there for one reason and one reason only. 6 seconds to go.
Here's Isaiah into the front court. Drives it. Floater. No good. Rebounded by Chapman. 4-quarter court swing off the backboard. No good. And the Vikings hang on to a 4-point lead as we go to the break. We'll have the Johnson Insurance Agency halftime report after this, right here on C98, The Bull.
It's a beautiful day here at Cedar Lakes.
Just win. And sometimes when you live in a small town,
There are no strangers.
Kickoff as an award-winning sports writer and stadium voice at Ripley High for 30 years.
so I'm the one-man director of the Ripley Convention and Visitors Bureau.
We're now joined by the legendary PA voice of the Vikings, Mike Rubin. Rube, welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you, Brian. It's good to be here.
Good evening, fans, and welcome to the campus of Ripley High School for tonight's game as the Warren local Warriors take on your Ripley Vikings.
It's truly been a great ride with the Vikings this fall, and we'll hope that journey continues for a few more weeks.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, from Evans to Cottageville, from Kennet to New Era, Ripley High School is proud to present the pride of Jackson County, the Ripley Viking Band.
You always want to be the king where you live. No matter if you're at a basketball game, a baseball game, or what it is, you want to be the king where you live.
Thank you so much for joining us behind all the home games at Ripley High School. You're so much a part of the atmosphere there, and we appreciate you being with us tonight.
All right, fans, it's football time in Death Valley.
Before we went in the locker room, we've missed a lot of point-blank shots here in the first half.
Yeah, he said too many layups missed. We ought to be up by 15 or 20, and he's right. As you see on your shot chart, a lot right there in front of the rim that just didn't happen. And with Brady picking up his second foul and going to the bench, it allowed them to go two bigs, and it really hobbled us a little bit on the offensive end as far as being able to get offensive boards and putbacks after missed shots.
And Jeff, with the season hanging on the line, one of these two teams' season is going to end tonight. Point Pleasant has to feel playing with a lot of freedom right now. Nobody thought they could win the game coming into it. They're hanging right in here at the break. Pressure on the Vikings. We'll see how they respond. They've responded beautifully all season long, but this is a little different.
Yeah, and Point Pleasant's playing like a team that's playing loose. You got Murphy out there. I mean, he feels very comfortable out there on the floor, along with Asher Robinson. He doesn't look like a player that is really going to affect the game, but I'm telling you what, he's a pretty good little point guard out there. Handles the ball well, gets some penetration, will knock a shot down on you from the perimeter, and he knows where to go when he gets caught. He's got escape valves out there with the two Chapmans inside, and he's a smart player, so you better not let our guard down against these guys because they will hop up and get you.
Do you really need to change anything, Jeff, aside from make some of those shots? You're +8 on the offensive glass in the first half. You have 8. You've held them to 0 offensive rebounds. You only have 4 turnovers. They have 5. You've been giving yourselves opportunities, and especially with point-blank shots. Do you really change anything, or you just, employ your guys, hey, make your shots. You know you can do it. You've been doing it all year. They're banging you. Expect the contact. Finish through the contact.
Yeah, and Point Pleasant's defense that they came out in, they remembered Dylan Casto and knocking down threes on him. They were playing him face-to-face, basically just face guarding him, not allowing him to catch it clean. They were getting out on K. Good and contesting his shots, got a hand on a couple of them. They're going to go down and just pound on Luke in the post, not let him catch it cleanly. Of course, Brady not being in with the foul trouble, that kind of put us at a little bit of a deficit because they can't pound on him like that without getting pounded back. And it got us out of rhythm a little bit. But still, yet we were getting the shots we wanted and just weren't able to knock them down, partner.
Both teams back out on the floor. We'll find out which team will advance to Friday here in about 1 hour of play. I would imagine we'll have a final here from the Health Center at Ripley High School. Hopefully, it'll be the boys in blue and white. We'll step out. You've been listening to the Johnson Insurance Agency Halftime Report. Second half after this on C98, The Bull. We got Sean Grandin at home doing his thing. He's texting me saying the broadcast sounds good, so the whole C98 family involved tonight.
We tried to get Shadow to put on the headset, and he declined on us. So
I told him he could have my seat tonight. I'm running a little low on energy, as the Vikings are. Jeff, we got to find a way to tap into some energy and get this pace jumping. I thought maybe the dunk would do that. It did for a few minutes, but then Point Pleasant did a great job of stemming the tide there and regaining the momentum.
Yeah, 7-point lead there right before the three-pointer was made by Tucker to close out the half. And Point Pleasant will have the basketball to start this second half. The Vikings have got to come out here in this third period and really get going.
It feels like, Jeff, what needs to happen is the defense needs to pick up. When the defense picks up, conversely, the offense picks up.
Usually it makes us go. It gets us going. And I thought maybe when Virgil got that steal and layup that was going to be the key that got us ignited a little bit, but it just didn't happen.
Chapman will bring it across the timeline, moving from our right to left at our broadcast position here, center court at the Health Center. It's Robinson back to Josh Chapman. Now Eric Chapman will reset the offense. Get a screen from his brother. Barking out signals. Cross court to Murphy. Murphy in the corner to Barton for three. Got it.
And that is not the way the Vikings needed to start, as the Point Pleasant closes to within one.
1 point game, as you said. Isaiah drives to the basket. Back to Dillon. He'll shoot a three right of the circle. Got it.
And we went 5 out, spread the floor so they couldn't help. And when they went to help, you see what happened. It left him wide open. We got to get some more of that going.
2 feet in the paint. Good things happen. You've been saying it for 20 years. I've been sitting beside you. As Murphy off to Robinson. Vikings gain a little momentum back with that three. Has to be a walk. No call. Shot by Murphy, no good. Rebounded by Chapman. In the lane for at least 10 seconds. No call. Misses the shot. And it's rebounded by Luke.
Good job by Brady and Luke, not fouling down there. But you said it, partner. He was in the lane a long time.
Floater from Isaiah misses. It gets his own rebound. Triple teamed. Back out to Dillon, and a foul was called. Isaiah not to be denied.
Yeah, he knew he was short on that little runner, and he just went right up out of it and got it. And there's one to Luke.
And a beautiful down screen as Luke gets an easy lay-in off the inbounds. Vikings back out by 6.
Here come the big blacks.
Robinson into the front court left wing, picks up his dribble. Off to Murphy. He'll drive it. Floater in the paint, too strong. Luke tracks down the rebound.
2 Viking big men right there to contest.
5-0 run here for the Vikings. Back to Luke, head and shoulders fake, drives it, floater left hand, no good, gets his own rebound, back up, lays it in.
Wow.
What an athletic play.
What dexterity he showed there, left and right hands, and Point Pleasant's wanting a full timeout.
You know it's late in the season, we're using big words like dexterity, Jeff. An 8-point lead for the Vikings, 6:12 to go here in the third quarter. We'll keep it here.
I can't spell it, but I can say it from time to time, brother.
Don't ask me to either. What a great start after the 3-ball and good play design by Josh Williams. He gets the defense all flowing to the left. Quick ball reversal. You get an open 3 in the corner. And then the Vikings, just out of sheer effort, Jeff, have gone on a 7-0 run. They haven't shot the ball particularly well other than the open 3 for Dillon. But offensive rebounds, hustle plays, getting to 50-50 balls gave them an opportunity to get this 8-point lead.
Yeah, and Coach Williams is a good coach.
Very good.
He has game planned this game almost to perfection, Brian. But Coach Mullins and the staff, you can see, made some adjustments on the offensive end of getting us spread out, allowing Isaiah to have some lanes to dribble drive in, make them come and help, and find the open shooter. And so far we've been able to knock it down. So full court pressure now by the Vikings, leading 32-24, 6 minutes to go here in the third period of play.
Great use of a timeout there too, Jeff. This thing could have gotten out of hand. Josh Williams doesn't call a timeout. I'm sure he's designed to play out of that timeout specifically for here, as Murphy will drive it into the paint, and ball deflected out of bounds by the big man, Brady Anderson. Very active here tonight.
Yeah, more agile than you would think is Brady. Good footwork that time.
Here's Murphy driving it. Off-balance shot, no good.
Here come the Vikings on the fly with Isaiah on the push.
Here's Casto. He'll have it right wing. Cut off.
And Dylan was wanting to get in a position where he could fire that thing.
Looking for an opportunity. They come out. Whoa, what a ball fake by Brady Anderson. Lays it up and in. They bit on the pump fake, Jeff, on the three from Brady, who I don't believe shot one all year. And then he gives a beautiful ball fake. The Vikings by double digits. Transition jumper, no good. Rebounded by Isaiah.
Here come the Vikings again on the fly with Isaiah. Back out to
Dylan for three. Off the mark. And they're going to call over the back on Brady Anderson, I believe.
Yeah.
Who they're going to call McMillan with a hold.
He's holding big Luke Johns. He's got the matchup down there with Luke, and that's a mismatch.
So Brady Anderson will get a breather. Virgil Myers in. What a ball fake by the big fella. Get used to that. You're going to see some of that next year. As I imagine you will see the Vikings play some 4-out, 1 in, maybe some 5-out with Brady on offense. Here's Luke. Jump shot.
Got it.
And he gets a kind roll that time, and the Vikings lead it by 12.
And Eric Chapman will check back in as soon as there's a dead ball for the Black Knights.
Quick throw ahead to Barton, and they'll just get it across the timeline. And a collision as Cade pops up with a smile, but he took the brunt of that one.
You could hear the Viking bench after that foul. Cade just got ran over, and Dylan will come out of the game as Brady checks back in as the Vikings go big when Point Pleasant goes big with the two Chapman brothers.
So Virgil in, Brady back in, as you said, shot no good. And the Vikings and Luke pull it down. Here come the Vikings back the other way. Isaiah to Luke, left of the circle. Chapman close out defense, off to Good. He'll shoot a three, too strong. Ball deflected into the hands of Cade. He'll drive it to the basket, floater, no good, but he's fouled.
And Luke was there for the follow if it hadn't have been called. But a good dribble drive after the rebound by Cade Good. And those are the things I was talking about before the game that he does that you really don't see in a stat line, corralling that 50-50 ball.
So McMillan, picks up his second personal. Cade, 2 for 2 on the night from the line so far as he makes that one.
And I love that stroke at the foul line. He has been Mr. Consistent.
He never gets in a hurry, Jeff. I think that's what I really like.
Coach Williams wants a timeout, partner, after that first make. Down 13, 37-24, 4:31 to go here in the third period.
32nd timeout. And we've had these quarters, Jeff, either in the third or the fourth quarter pretty consistently throughout the year, and it's a 12-0 run for the Vikings here in the third. A three-pointer to start the quarter by the Black Knights to pull to within one, and the Vikings have outraced them 12 consecutive since. Seems like the third or the fourth quarter the Vikings do this, and they're able to create space.
Yeah, and it's been on the defensive end, as you said. Now, we did change up the offense when we went spread a little bit there. Got them where they couldn't come and help so much. But really, the effort's been on the defensive end, one shot and done for the Black Knights after that three-pointer.
So Cade will be back at the line. He has 5 points here this evening. And it has not been a great performance by the Vikings offensively, but they seem to be waking up a little bit here in the third. And again, I think it begins with defense. As the defensive effort picks up, the offense gets more efficient as Cade makes both. He's 3 for 3 from the line tonight, and he has 6 points. McMillan passes ahead to Murphy. They're trying to get it across the timeline. Eric Chapman with it, trapped in the far corner. And he'll throw it to Tucker, who passes off to Josh Chapman. Now to Murphy, near corner, baseline drive, uncontested layup.
Straight line drive, you called it, and that's the killer.
Back to 12, 38-26. Cade, wide open three near corner, too strong. Brady, a great job keeping it alive.
And got it.
Up and in. Brady Anderson, and one opportunity.
That's the strength of the big man underneath as he corralled the miss and was able to put it back up, finish it, and draw the foul on Chapman.
That's 2 on Eric Chapman. Cade Good out. Dylan Casto in. Brady with 10 points here tonight. Too strong on the free throw attempt. Batted around in the hands of Eric Chapman.
Oh, my goodness.
And I thought Dylan Casto had a steal, but they're going to call him for a personal foul.
Virgil was in there poking at the ball. It came out. Dylan swiped it and was ready to lay it in when the whistle came late, but probably was a reach.
Calmly lays the basketball on the floor and turns around as Wesley Lee comes into the ball game for the first night for Point Pleasant. First time tonight, rather. Inbounds to Chapman, and Virgil really guarding him closely.
Oh, there's an offensive foul that Coach Mullins wanted as he cleared Virgil away.
Virgil's so quick. He can get up under bigger players like that. Now Isaiah trying to do that. Isaiah caught with his hand in the cookie jar. His second personal foul. No reaction from the Viking senior.
Nope.
We are gonna miss that kid. He has been so good this year. 40-26, the Vikings lead it. 3:45 to go here in the third, and Chapman will survey the scene right out near the center court stripe.
And this is the Vikings are okay with this.
Yeah, they've spread them out here, Jeff, forcing them to start their offense from about 35 feet. Murphy off to Chapman. He'll fake the three, drive it, turn around, drops it off to Murphy. Baseline jumper blocked by Luke. And Luke pulls down the rebound, and he's going to be fouled, I believe, by Josh Chapman.
Is that Josh or was that Murphy? Because Murphy was frustrated after that block. And now you got some conversations going on out there with Point Pleasant, a little frustration.
That is Peyton Murphy, his first, team's fourth. Isaiah slowly into the front court. Nice move by Isaiah. Back to Virgil. He'll shoot a three, left wing, short. Brady, strong in for the rebound, keeps it alive into the hands of Chapman.
And Brady, very athletic move.
Down on the block, they go to Murphy. Here's a three from Tucker. Short. Luke high for the rebound.
Isaiah says, I think you can have it, big fella. I'll dribble it out.
Those two played a lot of basketball together. As Carson Hedrick will check in. A great crossover from Isaiah, and he got caught in the air and turns it over.
Yeah, Hedrick comes in to replace Isaiah. Isaiah had the defender beat off the dribble drive, and as you said, got up in the air, and we've talked about that this year. Unless you're a bird, you're going to come back down. And look at that steal.
With the steal off the inbounds. He'll drive it, reverse it to Virgil for three, short.
Aimed
into the hands of Tucker.
We know when Virgil lines it up and shoots it really well. That was not one of them. He just aimed that one at the front of the rim.
Lee back to Chapman, in the corner to Tucker. Wide open three. That's off the mark.
Fortunate
Dylan Casto
there.
with the rebound.
Good job by Dylan getting that rebound.
Comes into the front court. Lee guarding him. Crossover. Gets into the paint. At the elbow. Down on the baseline, he goes to Anderson. Anderson loses the handle. Out to Virgil. And Coach Mullins.
Yeah, he's seen enough of that action.
Full timeout from the Viking bench. Vikings lead at 40-26 with 1:57 to go here in the third. We'll step out. More basketball after this on C98, The Bull.
Will inbound side court. That's Isaiah Casto back in the lineup, replacing Virgil Myers.
By doing that, Jeff, by throwing the ball deep into the court, they're just eating up a little bit of time every possession. It could end up being big at the end of this ball game. Isaiah, a couple hesitation dribbles. Strong take to the basket, a ton of contact. No call. So Isaiah will... a lot of players on the floor. In the corner, they go to Tucker. Now back to Eric Chapman.
A new player in the game. That's Lambert.
And Brady Anderson's going to be called for the push-off. That's 3 on him.
Lambert into the game for the Black Knights. So Wesley Lee and Lambert on the floor with the Chapman brothers and Murphy, Peyton Murphy.
So Anderson out, Cade Good in for the Vikings. Lee with it, guarded by Dylan Casto.
Ooh.
Really lazy pass back across the defense. And I thought Luke was going to steal it. Didn't react quick enough.
It's
Had
a
to
walk.
be a walk by Chapman, and they're going to call a foul and an and one.
It's a walk. Yeah.
Wow. So an and one opportunity for Eric Chapman. That's 3 or 2 on Isaiah.
This, you know, we talked about the kids being ready for playoffs.
It's no dribble night here at the Health Center. It's 3 or 4 travels not called. Dylan Casto 3. Got it. There's the answer.
How did they not find him? I love it.
But he has been the Point Pleasant killer here so far this season. Here's a 3, in and out. Isaiah, great rebounding position on the Lambert miss. 43-29. Vikings back out by 14 with 35 seconds. They can hold for the final shot. Luke will dribble it back out near the time stripe. 28 seconds. Back to Isaiah, near wing. Question is, can he just take off running with it, or does he have to dribble?
He may, from there, at least one.
At least one dribble and then 4 power steps into the paint. 12 seconds. Rolls to the basket.
Whoa.
Here comes the high lob. Luke goes up and gets it. And
count
one.
it.
As Peyton Murphy just shrugs his shoulders, what do you expect me to do? In that situation, he's got me by about 8 inches in height. And now Luke, what a big way to finish this quarter.
Now they're going to get Virgil Myers back into the ball game. He's going to come in for Luke.
With 8, will he miss it on purpose? We have seen this.
Let's hope not.
At some point this year. I don't think that was on purpose, but it wasn't his best effort as Chapman pulls down the rebound. Josh Chapman, that is. 4 seconds. Throw ahead to Lee in the corner to Lambert for 3. No good. And the Vikings survive the third period. 45-29. The Vikings lead it as we go to the fourth. They are 1 quarter from advancing to sectional championship play on Friday night. Can they do it? We'll find out next. Right here on C98, The Bull. Health Center on the campus of Ripley High School. As the Vikings back out on the floor, Dylan Casto will come out. Brady Anderson in for him. So we have Virgil, Luke Johnson, Cade Good, Brady Anderson for the Vikings, Murphy, Barton, Robinson, and the Chapman brothers for Point Pleasant. And good seal and good position by Luke, and he just turns right by Chapman and lays it in.
And there's additional strength this year that he didn't have last year, and it's really paid off for him on his inside game.
Vikings lead it by 18. Largest lead of the night. Robinson, 7.5 minutes to go in the ball game. Off to Barton. Barton back to Robinson. Vikings content to let them yo-yo the basketball on the perimeter. Barton in and out. That ball was down in the cylinder and pops out. Luke Johnson boards it. Ahead to Virgil. Back to Isaiah. Now Luke, top circle, hands it off to Cade. Cade drives it. Back to Anderson. Thought about a long two and then nearly threw it away. Virgil tracks it down as he calls for the screen from the big fella. Gets it, drives into the paint, reversing it out to Isaiah on the near corner. Off to Anderson cutting, puts his shoulder down, clears some space, can't convert, and it's out of bounds to Point Pleasant. Could have been an offensive foul on Brady, no call.
He cleared the way and then missed the bunny and wasn't going to get the call after clearing the way, I don't think.
I mean, to his credit, they haven't called much contact down there, so make them call it. He has 3 personals, so that would have been a big foul. Murphy in the backcourt, brings it across the timeline. Just in time. In the corner to Robinson, 3 on the way.
I think he got a hand on it.
I think it was partially deflected by Cade Good. Brady pulls down the rebound. 6.5 minutes to go. Vikings by 18. Anderson. Jump shot, short, rebounded by Good. Lays it up, won't fall. And knocked out of bounds by Virgil Myers.
And Cade just shaking his head and grinning. Boy, he caught one there, got a great rebound, and thought he would just bank that thing right in.
Virgil all over Point Pleasant in the backcourt as they barely get it across the timeline. And Coach Williams takes a timeout, a 30-second timeout with 6:11 remaining in this game, and they have to get going quickly, Jeff. They can't burn a lot of time down 18 with only 6:11 remaining in the ball game.
No, the Viking pressure is bothering them a little bit in the front court as they almost did not get it across the timeline. And when they did, Coach Williams was hollering for a timeout. He did not want a turnover in that possession being down 18. The Vikings doing a much better job, a 20-8 third quarter, Brian, just what we needed coming out of the locker room.
So a big night tomorrow night, Jeff. Lady Vikings a chance to win their region as Lincoln County will be in town, and a trip to the Civic Center on the line. So a big night for the Lady Vikings and head coach John Kennedy.
Big game for the Lady Vikings. Let's fill the gym up tomorrow night also, just like we did here tonight.
I'll be here. Will you be here tomorrow night, Jeff? Another back tap by Isaiah.
I'll be with you, partner. We get Jennifer at the station, we'll be in good shape.
As they do all season, Jennifer, Sean, Shadow, everyone taking care of us, making sure we get on the air. It's a tough job, Jeff. Those folks do not get enough credit. Here's Chapman to Chapman, lays it up, won't go. Brady clears the board.
And the lid continues to be on that bucket for Point Pleasant.
Luke, a wide open 3, passed on it. Hands it off to Good. Now to Myers in the far wing, far corner. It's a screen from Anderson. Back to Johnson. Johnson will drive it to the elbow. Good defense by Point Pleasant. 5.5 minutes to go here in the ball game. Cade Good, shoulder down, gets away with the travel. They're not calling it tonight, and it throws it into the backcourt, and it's a turnover, Vikings. A little bit out of sorts tonight is Cade. Not his best offensive night tonight. I think the contact got him early in the ballgame, shook him up a little bit. He got hit hard a couple of times.
Yeah, on dribble drives. You're not kidding.
5:21 to go. Played great defense, though. We can always count on that out of these Vikings. Cade Good, a really good defensive night, even when the shots aren't falling. And here's a good contest on a 3 from Murphy.
Murphy was going to shoot that regardless.
Cade, falling out of bounds, has to throw it up, and it's stolen.
Another live ball turnover for the Vikings, and the
And no man's
Black Knights
land.
give it right back to us.
Grayson Tucker can't hang on. Ball bounces off of the top of his foot and out of bounds as Dylan Casto will come in.
Coach Mullins going to give Cade a little breather as Dylan comes back onto the floor.
It's a nice little 1-2 punch when you can, both of those guys start, but when you get into the game and you can kind of sub them in and out, those two guys play really, really well off of each other. Here's a nice pass from Casto to Brady, and he clears some more space and lays it up and in. Chapman,
Josh Chapman saying,
and rightfully so.
He's stronger than I am, and he just moved me.
You can see the elbow in the back of Chapman. As Chapman will drive it, lays it off for Chapman, and it's swatted into the wall. And Luke said, not tonight.
Yeah.
Even some emotion out of Luke, which you don't normally see. He's 2 blocks here tonight.
There's that 20-point lead we were looking for, partner, earlier in this game.
Vikings just overwhelmed them here in the second half. Eric Chapman, tough shot, rebounded by his brother. Loses the handle into the hands of Luke Johnson.
Isaiah.
Here is Brady through the traffic, lays it up and in.
Nobody knocking that guy down as Isaiah still hobbled a little bit on the other end. They didn't stop play.
Barton, tough shot up, and now a lot of pushing and shoving going on.
How did they call that?
Now might be a good time to get some of the bigs out, Jeff, with some pushing and shoving going on down there. You certainly don't want to get someone losing their patience with 4:03 to go in the ball game.
He gave them a timeout when nobody had possession. That ball was still being battled for. And he's on the sideline, and Coach Williams wanted a timeout, but that ball hadn't been corralled yet, partner. And Coach Mullins out there with a 22-point lead. He's not going to argue that too hard. He just wanted a little explanation.
You want to speed the game of basketball up, Jeff? Don't give live ball timeouts. Only time you get a timeout's a dead ball. And to me, you have a 10-second opportunity. You call a timeout when you inbound the basketball.
Should have 3 or 4
If there was
seconds.
8 seconds when you called the timeout, you should have 2 seconds to get across the timeline.
Yeah, I agree. And
I'm not a fan of the live ball timeout.
Nope. It really changes the game. And most coaches know, when they need or want a timeout prior to the ball being put back into play. So unless, like Coach Mullins did earlier in the game, we were running offense and it just got really sloppy out there. And before we turned it over, he calls the timeout. So you're going to have arguments, I guess, on both sides, but I like speeding the game up too.
So the Vikings will inbound it, Point Pleasant will inbound it. Hedrick in there, along with Virgil, Brady Anderson.
McMillan back in the game for
Chapman drives it, travels. Finally called it, and you're going to get a smattering of applause from the Viking fans.
Brady just stood his ground. Chapman tried to bull into him, and that was not happening.
If I had a quarter for every travel not called here tonight for both teams, I think both of us could retire. Spin move and a beauty by Luke. Can't finish, but he's going to get the old-fashioned and one.
McMillan checks him off the ball, and Luke just muscled it up, finished it, and gets the foul.
3 on McMillan.
And Brian,
Luke
right
with
now,
21.
this does not look like a 25-21 halftime score.
Luke misses another free throw. I think he knew he was coming out again. Chapman rebounds it. It really doesn't. It had an odd feel. Nice block by Dylan Casto.
And retrieved it.
Wow. Showing some athleticism. 53-29. Vikings a big lead. Virgil drives it back to Dylan. 3, left wing. Too strong. Rebounded by Barton.
Good contest. It looked like he was going to get a wide open shot, and they ran at him, and caused him to shoot a little bit long.
Here's Barton. Crossover. Now to Murphy. Now in the corner to Tucker. His 3's no good, and it's rebounded by Brady Anderson.
Tucker really went cold on the second half.
Great hesitation. Dribble by Virgil. Finish. Layup. Good. Ball
Just
hung on the
enough
rim
spin.
for a minute.
And Coach Mullins is getting, and Luke doesn't want to come out with 2:55 left in the game. He was having some fun out there, but at 55-29, there is no reason for that starting 5 to be out there on the floor.
Full timeout. Vikings lead it big. We'll return with the final 2.5 minutes of action Here from the Health Center after this on C98, The Bull. Welcome back to Health Center. Hedrick in the ball game, along with Cade Good, Virgil Myers, and Dylan Casto for the Vikings. Garrett Rhodes in there. The Vikings go small.
Cade and Virgil sharing a laugh out there. Hard to tell what they're talking about, Parker.
It's hard to say. I'd hate to even speculate on what might be happening out there. So the Chapman's back in there along with Tucker, and Eric Chapman will get a look at a three near corner off the mark.
Good box out by Cade Good as Josh Chapman was on his back.
Great hesitation, dribble, and a step through.
Whoa,
wow.
My goodness.
Big. We'll call that a steal. A lot of contact, not called. Now Murphy in transition, three, no good. Virgil high for the rebound.
Oh, goodness.
Skying. He comes in the corner to Hedrick. He'll shoot a three. That's off the mark. Rebounded by McMillan. Quick run out for Point Pleasant.
Oh,
Great
they didn't
defense.
call that, so we're even.
Great defense and a foul not called. Hedrick will get away with it. And then a great drive by Garrett Rhodes as he gets the lay-in. Good delivery from Cade Good. And it's a 28-point lead for the Vikings, Jeff. You mentioned it. Point Pleasant scored 16 points since the first quarter. That's some solid defense.
Sure is. 8 points in the second half.
Here's Chapman. No good. Fouled by Cade Good.
And we're going to clear the bench for the Vikings, it looks like, as Connor Casto will check in for the blue and white along with Parker Boyd.
Point Pleasant has yet to score in the fourth period, and there's 1:47 remaining in the ballgame.
Peyton Murphy, the senior point guard for the Black Knights, along with Eric Chapman. Wesley Lee, number 15, who was in the game. Their last
Josh Chapman rattles it in.
Game for the Black Knights, and he's going to take them out and give them a round of applause as those seniors came in here and give a valiant effort, really came out playing very aggressively and kept keeping the score to a four-point game.
Viking fans are happy to see that Chapman graduate as Josh Chapman misses the free throw. Here's Parker Boyd off the bench, fires a three. Connor Casto rebounds it. Ton of contact, no call. Rebounded by McMillan. And
it's been brutal inside here tonight.
It's been a battle, no doubt. Here's Tucker, hands it off to Robinson, across the top of the circle. Off to Barton, looking for space. He won't get much from Parker Boyd. Cross court, Tucker to Robinson, and Robinson loses it out of bounds. 1:14 rather to go in the ball game.
I didn't see what was going on, but there's a rumbling in the Viking stands.
These officials may need a police escort out of here tonight. Both sides really angry with them. Here's Garrett Rhodes. Back to Hedrick. Top circle. Now Parker Boyd. Parker cut off by Tucker. Back out to Virgil. 51 seconds. Vikings by 27. Back to Garrett Rhodes. He'll drive it baseline. A ton of contact and a very late whistle. But Garrett's going to the free throw line. And I love the confidence shown by Garrett Rhodes. He's gotten so much better through this year. We watched him in JV games all year. Now when you put him into a varsity game, he feels really comfortable and he plays with a lot of aggressiveness.
Yeah, that was the word I was looking for. He was just aggressive on that drive. He misses the free throw. Virgil goes out, smiling, slaps his hand.
This team has been a lot of fun to cover all year. Misses the second. Josh Chapman pulls down the rebound. 38 seconds, clock turning. Strong take to the basket, and a good floater by Grant Barton. 57-32 the score.
25-point Viking lead, and that they'll let the air out of it here, I do believe.
The Vikings can dribble the clock out. 20 seconds. Vikings are going to advance to the sectional championship on Friday night, and at the end of 3, Nitro led Winfield by 20, 47-27. Great effort by the blue and white tonight as they get win number 21 of the season, Jeff. We'll step out. When we return, we'll have Viking head coach Derek Mullins for the WVU Medicine Jackson General Hospital post-game report right here on C98 The Bowl. To the health center of the campus of Ripley High School. The Ripley Vikings advance here tonight as Nitro leads at 62-60 with 1:20 to go in sectional play at Winfield. But that's immaterial, Coach. Who cares who we play? You won. You're 1-0. You're moving forward, and you'll have another game here Friday night.
Heck yeah, we get 2 more games. That's something that we were looking forward to. We had to take care of business first thing, and then we took care of business today. Didn't do a really good job in the first half of speeding them up, but in the second half, I thought defensively we really locked in, was more patient on offense, and executed really well in the second half, was able to build a solid lead. And again, got 2 more games. These games are exciting each and every time you come in here, especially during postseason play.
Coach, it was not a thing of beauty. At halftime, you led it by 2. And your defense locked it down in the second half. You gave up 11 points the entire second half. You outscored them 20-8 in the third. You outscored them 12-3 in the fourth. When your defense is playing like that, your offense gets going and you're tough to beat.
Yeah, that's something I talked about with the guys before the games about how we've had 3 teams score 60 points plus, and out of those 3 teams, 2 teams have beat us. So our goal was to try to keep them in the 50s or less, and that's something we're going to keep striving towards because statistics don't lie when it comes to stuff like that. So again, defense wins games when it comes to postseason play. Defense and rebounding, and those are the 2 things I thought we did a really good job of tonight. I don't think they had an offensive rebound in the first half. I don't know what they might have had, maybe a couple in the second half. So again, that's something that we've stressed about, and if we can limit to 1 possession each and every time and try to get it out and go, I like our chances.
Coach, came out in the second half. Looked like you spread the floor on the offensive end, gave Isaiah some driving lanes. They weren't able to jump and help on the defensive end as much. And when they did, it left Brady and Big Luke wide open. So great adjustment there at halftime.
Yeah, that's something we talked about where we were getting the paint really congested with both our bigs in there, and then they got 2 6'8" kids and the Chapman boys. That's 4 big bodies in the paint, and it's hard to have a whole lot of space. I think we might have missed 6 to 8. Not wide open layups, but layups we usually make in the first half that would have built the lead up to double digits. So, again, we wanted to kind of space it out in the second half a little bit more and be more patient offensively, and I thought we did a lot better job in the second half. And, again, that's why we kind of found a way to build a little bit of lead.
We've talked about your team's composure all season long. It was on display tonight. It's easy to have that composure when it's a regular season game, but when it's win or go home, and you're the 1 seed and the 4 seed only trails you by 2 points at the half, your team didn't seem phased.
Yeah, I think we had a little bit of jitters in the first quarter to second quarter to where we were kind of rushing some shots, and I think that just came with postseason play. But overall, again, just found a way to stay composed throughout it all when things might have not been going our way, making some shots. And again, we just kind of kept kicking along, and made some shots in the second half.
What do you do between now and as we're awaiting the final of this game? They're watching it seated to our left. You seem, doesn't matter, Coach. You're gonna, whoever you play, it's gonna be a tough test, and you guys are gonna have to come out and be prepared. The good news, the one thing you do know, is you're playing here.
Yep, every bit of it. It's something else we talked to them at halftime about. If we can get some shots and get this crowd behind us, that's what makes home crowd advantage so tough whenever you have postseason plays. You can get them behind you a little bit, get them riled up, and the way we were playing, trying to speed them up some, they're going to take tough, quick shots. And I thought they did that in the second half when we started making a couple shots, and we got runouts and some easy buckets in the other end. And we were, again, one of our goals is really try to run down the Chapman brothers because they're heck of ball players when they were patient in a half-court set. And I thought Eric got tired in the second half, first couple minutes in the third quarter, and same thing with Josh. So, again, that was one of the things that I thought we did a good job of. We always put goals or keys in the game on the board. One of the things was we need to set our tempo. Don't worry about their tempo, set our tempo, and I thought we did a better job of in the second half.
That's 19 out of 21 against Point Pleasant over the last 21 games. So it's been pretty dominant by the Vikings, and I don't really know how you answer that. This team's always played us well. It's hard to believe we won that many games out of the last 21.
Yeah, it's just one of this. It's these guys. These guys come in, they're bought in what we're trying to do, and again, it's always hard to beat a good Point Pleasant team like this, 19 out of 21 times. But it's a testament to what these guys are doing each and every day. We come in here when it comes to practice and how they prepare to get ready for games.
We don't want it to end just like your team, Coach.
Nope.
Enjoy.
I appreciate it. Thanks,
guys. Go be with your team. Great game tonight as the Vikings get win number 21 of the season as the historic season continues, Jeff. And, wow, not a thing of beauty, but, man, they've won a lot of games like that. Somehow they win on lopsided scoreboards when it doesn't really feel like they played very well.
No, and everybody huddling around their iPhones watching that Nitro Winfield game, the conclusion of it. So, as Coach Mullen said, it doesn't really matter. We got to come and play our game, do our thing, and we're on the home court. So we'll wait and see. But this is as fun as it's been, Brian. We've done this a long time, and we've watched some really good players over the years and some pretty good teams, but nothing like this that I can remember. And just let's keep it going. It's just so much fun. Girls here tomorrow night. They got it going on, too, and they play Lincoln County for a trip to the state tournament regional finals here tomorrow night at 7 o'clock.
That was my segue. Let's keep it going. We're going to do that right here tomorrow night. As you mentioned, the Lady Vikings with an opportunity to go to the state tournament with a win tomorrow night. Lincoln County upsetting Logan. So bit of a break for the Lady Vikings, but they better come to play. Lincoln County, 5 seniors, I believe, on that team. They can shoot it. They're going to spread you out. They're going to put a lot of pressure on your defense. We got to come ready to play tonight and stay out, or tomorrow night rather, and stay out of foul trouble.
They got a good guard. They got a good post player. I think probably Abby and Sophie are going to draw those assignments, so better be ready to go.
We'll be here. We'll see if the Lady Vikings are ready to go tomorrow night. The WVU Medicine Jackson General Hospital countdown to tip-off will begin at 6:30. That game's set to tip at 7 p.m. I think Nitro won it, Jeff. So Nitro will be here Friday night to take on your Vikings. But first, come out and support the Lady Vikings tomorrow night as they make a bid to go to the state tournament. We say thank you to all of our sponsors of Viking basketball all season long on C98 The Bull. Special thanks to Rick Shannon, our station manager, and Jennifer Redmond for all of her hard work back at Viking Control. Your final score from the Health Center of the Vikings, 57, Point Pleasant 32. Let's do it again tomorrow night.
I'm ready. Let's do it.
For Jeff Wayburn, I'm Brian Johnson. Thanks so much for listening. Have a great night. God bless.